Hello, Joe. This is my feedback to your summary from last week. Okay, so let's start, see what we've done here. In the video, we want to include the title of the video, remember? The speaker, okay, name of the speaker, is explaining that. Remember, we want to use an argumentative verb. Argues that, claims that. Explain is just a very descriptive verb. Argues that in order for an invention to become innovative, it should be beneficial in terms of political and social. Okay, I can understand the idea. What is political and social? These are two adjectives. You need a noun here, right? Political and social impact, maybe, is what you're trying to say. It needs to be beneficial in terms of its political and social impact. And if you add that, it becomes actually quite a good first sentence. The speaker, now we usually use present tense here. And it's a present simple. Defines invention as a technology or a technological tool or something, a technological development or something, which is made by someone for own purpose or another. Okay, here the phrasing is a little bit for own purpose or another. Just, I can understand what you're trying to say, but definitely need to rephrase this. What you're trying to say that it's a technological tool or a technology created by someone. I think created is better than made in this case. It's a more precise verb. So the word choice here, we can say made, but I think created is better. Created by someone. I think you're trying to say which does not necessarily reach the market. Maybe they just made something. They just wanted to invent something, a tool that would help them do whatever in their everyday life without necessarily commercializing it, without making it into a marketable product. So maybe you want to explain that with a bit more academic language. So for one purpose or another just doesn't sound very, very specific at all. But the idea is good though. Also, innovation is the technology. The here suggests that it's a specific, that particular technology. So you should say indefinite article. An idea which has a big range of applications in society. Sure. Why not? Except this comma really, I'm not sure. It doesn't really connect the two ideas very well. Also, innovation is a technology or knowledge. If you want to list a technology, why don't you just say, all of this you could just say is a technological idea. That's all you need to say here. And in this way you will avoid this clumsy comma, which cannot simply do this. You cannot say technology or knowledge, comma, an idea. That's just not grammatical. All of this can just be simply, very simply put. You can just say is a technological idea which has a big range of applications in society. And all of a sudden it becomes quite a good sentence. In his speech, in his lecture, right? It's not just a speech, it's a specific type of academic event. That's a lecture. In his lecture, the speaker, now he refers to the speaker, right? But see, they're very separated here. One is very far from the other. So you want to either say the speaker or just the name. Archibugi compares, again we use the present, some technologies to to identify which one is invention and which one is innovation. Okay, fine. I would just, yeah, okay, that's fine, I'll accept it, but to make it a little bit more precise, you could just say, in order to demonstrate the difference between inventions and innovations, the lecturer or Archibuggi compares some technologies, or something like that. Because really what he's trying to do is not simply identify, but kind of say why they're different. But anyways, you've done a good enough job here at this point. Maybe just change the he, and that's still a very good sentence. Following that, comma, okay, here we've mentioned the name. Now Daniele is the first name. Usually, not usually, but always in academic language, we use either the two names, both of them together, or just the last name. We don't use the first name, because that sounds like he's your friend, you know him personally. Following that comma, Archibuggi claims, again present, the distinguishing part of two terms is to be innovative. The distinguishing part of two terms is to be innovative, comma, the invention should be available on the market and people are able to buy it. Yeah, this here is a bit unclear, the whole thing. And it's ungrammatical because this comma is a comma splice. You cannot connect two independent clauses with just a comma like that. But what are you trying to say here? The distinguishing part of two terms is to be innovative. I'm not sure what that means here. The invention should be available on the market and people are okay. So to distinguish between inventions and innovations, or between invention and innovation, comma, Archibuggi, and then finish the sentence. What is the sentence? Or according to Archibuggi, the difference between invention and innovation is that an innovation is usually a commercialized product which is available on the market. Okay, and then that's much more clear than here. The distinguishing part of two is to be innovative. I don't know what that means here. I understand what you're trying to do here, but just a clear phrasing. Ultimately, he says, say is a very simple reporting verb. We want to use a more sophisticated reporting verb. The innovation is distinguished by the application of items which are built through simple knowledge and which are also profitable. Here I'm not very sure what you mean by the application of items which are built. He did give the pen as an example. It's a very simple thing. I don't know if that's what you're referring to here. He ended the lecture with the story of the pen. But what he was trying to illustrate that this simple thing, which is the pen, when it started out as an invention, it did not have any impact on society. It was neglected. It was a seemingly insignificant invention, but when it became an innovation and widely available as a commercialized product on the market, it had an enormous social impact because everybody's using a pen. So if you want to say something like that, you can. Make that a little bit more clear, right? It's a kind of a paradoxical thought that he ended with. Kind of pulled the pen out of his pocket as a kind of a magic trick and said, okay, look at this thing. When it started out as an invention, nobody cared about it. It became an innovation and now everybody's using it. And he did stress the idea that the impact that an innovation is going to make is unpredictable. Nobody could predict how profitable and how influential the pen would become. Overall, Akjol, I can say that this is an improvement. Little by little, I can see slow but definitely progress here in your summaries. So keep up the good work. Try to use the last few remaining weeks and I will give you feedback as much as I can. This is the way to do it. Make an effort and you will inevitably get better, step by step. I can absolutely tell improvement, that there is an improvement here. Absolutely, especially from the beginning of last semester. Okay, so keep up the good work.